Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another Formula One video. We've just been touching a little bit on the Hamilton news for Ferrari. Yes, not immediate reactions, but a few days afterwards. And the timing of it was quite interesting because it got everyone buzzing, got everyone hyping. But the day before, there was some news that I'm not sure about. Some news that happened in Formula One that people have not been convinced on. Basically, Formula One has made a statement recently that it wants to expand its American audience. All great for the land of the free and all that jazz, because apparently it's the only country that has free people. I kid, of course. Shout out to all the American fans. But then decides to attack and shut out one of the biggest opportunities to expand its American base. You see, Formula One has decided to pick a fight with an old guy from America. There's more to it than that, of course. But in a sense, it's a battle between these two people, Formula One and an old guy. Oldish guy. Guy in his 60s. But this is a fight that I feel like Formula One should not be picking. Because Formula One, in a weird way, has decided to block one of the most famous names in motorsports, Andretti. The Andretti Formula One team is not being allowed to join the Formula One circuit for 2026, sorry. Now, I don't know how to feel about that. So we're literally going to read through the news that I've got in front of me on this bid, and we're going to just sort of do live reflections of it. So we're going to pull away from it to start putting in my opinions on everything, but look into it, okay? So here we go. Formula One has rejected the American Andretti's team bid to enter the sport in the next 2 years, but left the door open for admission from 2028. Andretti's entry had been approved by governing body the FIA, but commercial rights holder F1 felt the proposal for entry in 2025 or 2026 was lacking. Now, for all the new fans of Formula One, yes, the F1 is different to the FIA, all that jazz, right? Basically, how it works is the FIA is the over body, and then Formula One is underneath it. It's almost that sort of thing that the FIA have basically, they saw the emission, couldn't see anything dodgy with it, and basically said, F1, we've approved it. Now it's for you guys to say whether you want it. All right? And F1 have said they don't want it. Does that make sense? Just a little bit to give you an idea of the politics and the governance of Formula One. FIA manages all sorts of motorsport as well, so they do a similar sort of thing with like World Rallycross, Endurance Championship, all that jazz. Okay. F1 conducted an analysis involving key stakeholders and decided an 11th team would not on its own add value. Yes, it would, because there'd be 2 more seats, that'd be 1 more team. It would be a little bit more excitement. Oh well. F1 also does not believe the applicant would be a competitive participant. How do you know if they're going to be competitive or not if they haven't made a car? Bit weird. That could change when partner General Motors produces its own engine. Other teams have done that as well. Like Red Bull had Renault, and now they've moved to their own power. Then they moved to Honda. They became a customer team. Then they had their own power unit. So why was it okay for Red Bull back in 2000? 2008, I want to say. 2000, no, it's 2006, but somehow isn't okay now. Okay. Andretti said it strongly disagrees with the decision, while Mario Andretti, the F1 legend and a figurehead of the team run by his son Michael, said he was devastated by the decision. Fair enough. Emotional reaction. I'm not going to give my thought on that. General Motors, which is backing Andretti through its luxury Cadillac brand, so this team would be known as Cadillac Andretti or Andretti Cadillac, has said it plans to build its own F1 engine in time for the 2028 season. An American engine in an American car for 2028. That's the plan. F1 said it would look differently on an application for the entry of a team into the 2028 championship with a General Motors power unit, either as a GM Works team or as a GM customer team designing all allowable components in-house. So are they saying they would have allowed this application if it was General Motors F1 team rather than Andretti F1 team? That seems odd. I don't know why. In this case, there'd be additional factors to consider in respect to the value that the applicant would bring to the championship, in particular in respect to bringing in a prestigious new car manufacturer to the sport as a PU engine supplier. Again, seems weird. Yes, Cadillac is a big brand, but Andretti is a big name as well. Somehow that's a bigger thing, more prestigious. Starting to sound like there's something else at play here. F1 said that before that stage, the need for any new team to take a compulsory power unit supply, potentially over a period of several seasons, would be damaging to the prestige and standing of the championship. How? Like, they're not exactly going to bring a F-150 truck to race, are they? What's this about? This is a bit, though, where I'm like... It dismissed the argument that the Andretti name, associated both with Mario and Michael, was a compelling addition. While the Andretti name carries some recognition for Formula One fans, our research indicates that F1 would bring value to the Andretti brand rather than the other way around, as statement said. Right, okay. Let me just get this right. Andretti would bring less to Formula One than Formula One would bring to Andretti. We have 3 American races. Think about that, first of all. We have 3 USA races. 3 places where there could be drilled up home support. You could even hike the prices if you want, because that's how you love it in terms of the money. We're going to touch on the money later. Like, how the hell do you think Andretti is going to bring less to you than you bring to Andretti? They're going to be the ones spending the money. You're not buying their cars. You're not giving them cars to race. They're going to be spending the money. The prestige? Yeah. Caterham benefited from the prestige of Formula One, didn't it? So did the Virgin team. So did the Hispania racing team. They benefited massively from the Formula One prestige. No, it's a money pit. And unless you bring in the revenue with you, you're losing money, right? Andretti is bringing more to you than you are to it. And that's even ignoring the fact that, do you have no recollection of who the hell Mario Andretti is? Mario Andretti was from the glory days of Formula One. Mario Andretti was the guy who won a world championship for Lotus during the ground effect days. An absolute icon of Formula One. His son, Mario. Not Mario, sorry. Michael. IndyCar racer. Like, absolute legend of IndyCar. And endurance racing. Oh, by the way, Mario Andretti did that too, right? These are icons of motorsport. You are bringing icons of motorsport to Formula One. Why would you say no to that? You didn't say no when Jackie Stewart and his son John decided to join in back in their days. And do you know what team they ended up being? The Red Bull team, right? You're fine with Jackie Stewart, but somehow Mario Andretti and his team you're not fine with. Does it? It really boggles my mind this because it's like it feels like those that made the decision have no understanding of Formula One, no understanding of it. Like this was the wrong decision in my view. And yes, it'd mean two more teams, and then it'd be another pit box. But if the problem was with regards to pit box, just bloody say it. And by the way, again, we were fine when it was 12. I think it was 12 teams, was it at one point, right? It doesn't make sense, right? It's not about it, the Andretti name carries some recognition for Formula One fans. It is one of the roots of Formula One. Brings back the iconic days from the 70s and the 80s. Why would you not want to stir that? Oh,